Welcome to Veg-a-bond Chronicles, and today's subject is going to be military training on the border. So there's this park not too far from here called Azalduvas Park, and the military has been doing their drills, Chinooks, other aircrafts, and that's what they're up to down here. And so the subject is going to be what is going to happen when the military gets in the way of these cartel members making that money, right? Because pretty much you can go in or out right now, all right? And a lot of people are upset. I'm not here to say, to be political. I'm not picking either side. All I'm saying is what is best for the American people. I'm sure most of you agree that our way of life right now isn't the best, right? For Americans. Paycheck to paycheck, millions of people who are homeless, they can't afford rent. People are spending 50% of their income on rent, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be at least a third, 33% of your income should be for your home. But hey, look at gas prices, food prices, right? Interest rates, all that jazz. And the thing is, I want y'all to understand that I'm down here on a border town, right? It's called Mission, Texas. Look it up. You'll see that we're just a snowball's throw away from the border, right? So why am I saying that? Well, we see all the illegals coming here through our border, all right? I will add, I used to work for the city. I used to work for the city in Brownsville, Texas. You can look it up, right? Look it up where it's on the map. Just Google it and you'll see. Anyways, the reason I'm saying that is because how the not so legals were coming in was they were being bussed in by the federal government. The federal government put these people on Greyhound, all right? And then also they were transporting them to Austin, San Antonio, Houston, and you guys know the rest, right? New York and so on, all across the US. The government, who was in charge, right? Who was in charge? Exactly, right. It's not about being political, it's about the truth. And the truth is that our government was busing them and also paying civilians thousands of dollars, all right? Thousands of dollars to take these illegals in their vehicles, trucks, cars, and take them up to San Antonio, Houston, all right? Obviously, they had to go through a checkpoint, and this checkpoint is in Falfurrias, all right? Anyways, this is a checkpoint by immigration, right? So the guys in green are up there, right? So obviously they must have been able to circumvent, right, the laws through the paperwork that was given to them when they got off this bus. And I'm talking about people from Africa, people from China. I personally talked to these people because I was working for the metro, the bus metro in Brownsville, okay? So I know what I'm talking about, all right? And part of the job was to bring in these illegals. We had Mexican American people getting paid $20, $24 an hour to sit in a computer and put all these people in the system. Free phones, right? Cash. And I'm talking about they were coming from everywhere. they weren't all mixed up, right? They were all within their race, okay? They weren't bringing them all together, separate, right? And so the thing is, a big reason why I got out of there is because these people, okay, your cities, okay, are deeply involved in the sale of, you know, of ladies, okay? These cities were transporting them through the bus system, through Greyhound, all right? The homeless community knows this as well, okay? Because we're out here in the streets. You may say, this guy is full of whatever, right? You may say that, and you can. But I'm down here, ground zero, people, all right? Ground zero. Also, another thing that happens a lot in border towns is young, beautiful women come across the border. And they do their thing, if you know what I mean. They do their thing, and that's how they make their money, all right? I also had a friend, and he was a barber, right? He didn't have an ID, he didn't have a license, but guess what? He was allowed to cross over the border and work every day. I am prior service, and guess what? I personally have been treated like shit through our own government. All right? They treat us like criminals. Where you at? Where you been? If you cross the border, all right, and you go and have a couple drinks or whatever you're doing, okay, when you come back across the border, they're on you like white on rice. They're asking you all sorts of questions. Hey, where were you? What were you doing? And I'm like, hey, what were you doing? How's your mom doing? I mean, you know what I mean? These not so legals come across the border with no problems. But you have a veteran that goes over there. We have every right to go to their border towns. It's called Progreso, like Progreso soup, all right? That's where a lot of white Americans come down here, kind of like in Florida, right? Snowbirds, I believe that's what they are in Florida. Let me know in the comments if that's correct, right? But anyways, we call them winter Texans down here in the valley, winter Texans. So they come over here to either McAllen or Mission or some border town, Harlingen, and they have their homes or trailers, right? And they go across the border and get their meds, get surgeries, right? Teeth done, all sorts of things. Botox, everything you want is over across the border, okay? So there's a lot of things happening here, all right? So now think about the borders being closed now, okay? What do you think is gonna happen with these cartels, right? When you close the border for 4 years or so, right? What happens, right? They're gonna go nuts. We have the military here, and they should be here, all right? And part of the reason why there was such an influx of illegal people, it was because it was the tactic used by our own government and the cartel members to flood the system. That way, the Border Patrol was too preoccupied with all the people coming in. You see, that way the cartel members could dig tunnels. You've heard that in the news, right? Some of you have. Let me know in the comments if you've heard about these tunnels, right? So that way they'd be too distracted. See, they send people over here, but never mind what we're doing underground or in other parts of the fence, so to speak, right? So this is how the American people have been robbed from our own government and the cartel members. I've made a video before talking about how Hispanic people or anyone from somewhere else, right? South America, Central America, they have to take a loan and they have to pay the cartel members, all right, $10,000, $12,000, whatever it is, they have to pay, all right? And guess what? They're gonna have to pay this money back, right? So that is what's going on down here. So this is Veg-a-bond Chronicles, and I will keep you updated with the latest and greatest information happening down here at the border. There's also been a lot of ICE raids down here. So thank you to our president and thank you for the people who are standing up for us, because we all pretty much voted for the man who's in, and people are losing their minds, right? I've read article on top of article on top of article where people are just complaining and, oh, these poor people, we need to be sensitive. Wait a minute, what about our way of life? What about the people here trying to make a living? Sometimes, I'll tell you this, like, subscribe if you like what I'm doing here, okay? Another thing that I will talk about is the hypocrisy of the Catholic Church, all right? What do I mean? The Catholic Church here are not helping the American homeless. They have turned them away. You know who they are helping? Only illegals. These Catholic churches who are about God and whatever they want to talk about are leaving the American people behind because of millions of dollars, okay? The federal government and the churches are in bed. They love each other. They make sweet music with millions of dollars, all right? So NGOs have been the problem down here, everywhere in the country, right? But NGOs and the church teamed up because they make a lot of money off the illegals, all right? I am going to leave a whole bunch of information on this video, like I often do, all right? I'm not here talking out my butt. I'm here as a concerned citizen, all right? Because I love this country, all right? And I'm sure most of you do too, all right? But again, like, share, subscribe, interact with me, hit the thumbs up. Let's get this out. Join me and my journey to keep y'all informed, all right? Because that's what I'm about. I am a truth speaker, all right? And the truth is not often nice, right? But it's the truth. People want to silence you or myself from speaking the truth, all right? So this is Veg-a-bond Chronicles coming to you from Mission, Texas, which is a border town, the Rio Grande Valley, where the nitty-gritty is down here in the streets. And I will see you in a later video.